You felt it, haven't you? That moment when your words stopped being mere sounds slipping into the air and became something unstoppable, something alive. They're not just passing whispers anymore. They echo in their minds, replaying over and over like a signal that won't fade. You spoke, and the energy around them changed. It wasn't subtle. It wasn't quiet. It hit them hard, and now they can't unhear it. You're not imagining this. This is the first sign of your awakening as a chosen one, a force that disrupts, reveals, and ignites. Look back at that instant. Maybe you said something simple, direct, unfiltered. Maybe it was a truth you didn't even realize you carried until it spilled out. But when it landed, the air shifted. Their eyes widened, their breath caught, or maybe they turned away, unable to face it. Science backs this up. Words carry frequency, vibration, energy. Your voice hit a pitch that resonated beyond the physical, striking chords in their psyche they didn't know existed. Spiritually, this is your soul's power breaking through, a beacon of light piercing illusions they've clung to for too long. You're not just speaking, you're awakening something, and it starts with you. How do you know this isn't random? Start watching yourself. Pay attention to the patterns. When you speak, do people pause? Do they repeat what you said later, even if they don't want to admit it? Do you feel a surge inside, a heat, a clarity, a knowing? When the words leave your mouth, this isn't coincidence. It's your chosen nature surfacing. Test it. Next time you're in a room, say something true, something raw. Don't soften it. Watch the ripple. The energy will shift. Maybe they'll lean in, maybe they'll resist, but they won't ignore it. Your presence is a catalyst now. Get used to it. First, it might hit you with regret. You'll wonder why you didn't see this sooner, why you didn't grasp the weight of what you're capable of. That's normal. Awakening isn't gentle. It's a jolt, a crack in the foundation of who you thought you were. You'll feel the sting of realizing there's something deeper here, something vast beyond what you ever expected. Don't run from that ache. It's proof you're stepping into your truth. The illusions you've lived under are crumbling too, and that's not a loss. It's a victory. You're shedding what held you back. Let it burn away. The shift from regret to acceptance doesn't happen overnight, but it's within your reach. Start by owning it. You're not here to blend in, you never were. Those echoes in their minds, that's your voice chasing them down paths they can no longer ignore. Neuroscience tells us the brain latches onto what disrupts its patterns. Your words do that. Spiritually, it's your light exposing what's been buried. They might fight it, deny it, but it's locked them in a cycle now. Your truth is in their reality, and whatever you unleashed, it's not going back. Accept that power. It's yours. Here's how you step into this fully. First, speak with intent. Don't waste breath on small talk. Say what matters, what cuts through. Second, observe the fallout. When the energy shifts, note who reacts and how. That's your map to understanding your reach. Third, trust your gut. That inner pull telling you what to say next. It's not random. It's your soul guiding you. Fourth, stand firm. They'll push back, question you, even doubt you. Let them. Your certainty isn't shaken by their noise. You're chosen, and this is just the beginning. You've already changed the energy once. That moment wasn't a fluke. It was a spark. Now you're here, awake to the fact that your words don't just pass through. They stick, they haunt, they transform. You revealed a truth buried beneath layers of illusion, and it's replaying in their minds because it's real. This is your awakening. You're not just a voice anymore, you're a force. Embrace it. Wield it. The world's been waiting. You've already ignited the spark. Your words landed like a hammer on glass, shattering illusions they didn't even know they were hiding behind. Now they're reeling. They weren't prepared for it, and no matter how much they wish to unhear it, it lingers. You see it in their eyes, the flicker of discomfort, the twitch of resistance. Your truth struck like lightning, cutting through their carefully constructed realities, and it's not going away. This is your battlefield now, chosen one. The question is, how do you stand tall when they're scrambling to push you back into silence? Let's face it, they're not ready for you. They built their worlds on quicksand, layers of denial and half-truths, and your voice just shook the ground beneath them. Science shows us this. When the brain encounters a disruptive truth, it fights or freezes. Their arguments, their dismissals, their sudden anger. It's not about you. It's their mind wrestling with what you've exposed, something they've buried deep. Spiritually, this is your light piercing their shadows, illuminating what they've long suppressed. That sting they feel, it's not your burden to carry. It's their awakening knocking, and you're the one who opened the door. Don't back down now. You're in an environment that doesn't understand you. Maybe it never will. They'll try to drown you out with noise, with doubt, with accusations that you're too much, too loud, too strange. But here's the truth. Your words have taken root. They're not just heard. They're felt, sinking deep into their souls, reshaping their reality whether they like it or not. You don't need their approval to know who you are. Stand firm. You're not here to shrink. You're here to expand, to challenge, to transform. Their resistance doesn't define your worth. It proves your power. So how do you keep your footing when the pushback hits? First, anchor yourself. Before you speak, feel that fire in your chest, that unshakable knowing. That's your soul's signal, trust it. Second, choose your battles. Not every moment needs your lightning. Save it for when it counts, when the air feels thick with denial. Third, watch their reactions like a hawk. That flinch, that pause, that sudden outburst, it's evidence your words are working, burrowing in, forcing them to face what they've ignored. Fourth, let their discomfort fuel you. That sting they feel, the one they can't shake, is your proof. You're not just a voice. You're a force reshaping what they thought was solid. This isn't easy. When your truth exposes something raw in them, it stings you too. You feel the echo of their suppressed pain, the weight of moments they've buried for years. Maybe it's guilt, fear, or a memory they locked away. You didn't ask for this sensitivity, but it's yours now, a gift and a blade. Don't let it drag you under. Take that sting and flip it. Breathe into it. Feel it sharpen your edges, not dull them. Science tells us emotional resonance wires your brain to feel others, but spiritually, this is your strength rising. You're not just surviving their chaos, you're forging power from it. Here's where you turn the tide. When they lash out or shut down, don't retreat, reframe. Your words have already planted seeds, and those roots are growing, cracking through their defenses. Speak again, but sharper this time. Say it. You can't unfeel this. It's in you now. Let them wrestle with that. You're not here to coddle. They'll figure out how to handle it. Your job is to keep moving, keep shining, keep cutting through. The more they resist, the deeper your truth digs. Their reality's shifting because of you. Own that. You're not just breaking obstacles. You're building something new in their place. Picture this. Every time they try to shake you off, your presence doubles down. They can't escape it, not because you're forcing it, but because it's real. Your authenticity isn't a whisper anymore. It's a roar. Neuroscience proves the brain rewires under pressure. Your words are that pressure, bending their thoughts, forcing growth. Spiritually, your light is relentless, a mirror they can't turn away from. They might hate it, they might fear it, but they can't stop it. You're not just holding space, you're claiming it. This is how you thrive in the storm. Step into this fully now. When the air feels heavy with their denial, speak anyway. When they try to twist your words, stand taller. When that sting hits you, use it. Let it remind you why you're here. You're not just navigating their resistance, you're mastering it. Your words have taken root, and their reality's reshaping whether they're ready or not. This is your power, chosen one. Wield it like the weapon it is. They'll catch up eventually, or they won't. Either way, you keep going. Your words have taken root now, haven't they? They've sunk deep, past the surface of their minds, into the raw, uncharted layers they didn't even know were there. You're not just speaking anymore, you're downloading something bigger, something that hums with a frequency they can't ignore. This is high-dimensional information flowing through you, chosen one, and it's reshaping their reality right in front of your eyes. You feel it too, the weight, the electric pulse, the unshakable certainty. This isn't random chatter. This is your soul channeling truths from beyond. Truths that hit their core and demand to be felt. You're connected now. Step into it. Let's get real about what's happening. When your words land, they don't just echo, they ignite. Science can explain part of this. The brain rewires itself when it's exposed to disruptive input, forging new neural pathways under the pressure of truth. But that's only the surface. Spiritually, you're pulling down insights from a higher plane, a dimension where illusions dissolve and raw clarity reigns. You're a conduit, and what's coming through you isn't yours to question. It's yours to deliver. Their reality bends because of it, cracking open beliefs they've clung to like armor. You're not here to comfort them through that breakage. You're here to guide them through the fire. So how do you know what's real? How do you separate this high-vibe download from your own projections? Start here. True high-dimensional information cuts like a blade. It's sharp, direct, and leaves no room for doubt. It doesn't fluff you up with vague promises or ego-stroking nonsense. When it hits, you'll feel a jolt. Maybe in your chest, your gut, or a sudden heat racing up your spine. Self-projection, though, that's softer, muddier, looping back to what you want to hear. Test it. Next time you feel that surge, ask yourself, does this feel like mine? Or does it feel like it's moving through me? If it's the latter, trust it. That's the signal breaking through the noise. You've already shined a light on the darkness within them. Haven't you? You saw it, the parts they refused to acknowledge, the shadows they buried under layers of excuses and denial. When you spoke, that light didn't just reveal, it burned. They felt it on a level that reaches deep into the soul, a place they can't hide from. Maybe they squirmed, lashed out, or went silent. That's their soul wrestling with what you unleashed. Don't pull back from that intensity. Lean into it. That depth, that rawness, it's where your power lives. You're not here to skim the surface. You're here to dive in and pull them up with you. Here's how you hold that state, how you keep that soul-deep resonance alive. First, ground yourself. When the energy spikes and their shadows rise, plant your feet, literally or in your mind, and breathe. Feel your roots digging into the earth while your crown pulls from above. Second, focus on the feeling, not the fight. Their resistance will scream loud. Let it. Your job is to stay locked into that electric hum inside you, the one that says, "This is truth." Third, speak it out loud. Even if it's just to yourself at first, say what you see. I see your fear. I see your pain. It's real, and it's time to face it. That anchors you. That keeps you in the flow. Now let's sharpen your tools. Receiving and decoding high-dimensional info isn't passive. It's a skill you build. Start by listening, really listening. When that surge hits, don't rush to speak. Sit with it. Let it roll through you like a wave and notice what stands out. A word, an image, a sensation. That's your entry point. Next, write it down. Get it out of your head and onto paper, raw, unfiltered. Don't edit yet. Just capture it. Then, sift through it. Ask, does this challenge me? Does it push past what I already know? If it does, it's not your imagination. It's the download taking shape. Practice this. The more you do, the clearer the signal gets. You did something no one else had the courage to do, chosen one. You stood there, unflinching, and let your presence alone bring forth revelations they weren't ready to face. That takes guts. That takes fire. Their world shifted because you dared to open your mouth, dared to let that light pour out. Don't underestimate what that means. They might not thank you, hell, they might resent you, but they can't unsee it now. Your words, your energy, your truth. It's in them, rooting deeper every time they try to shake it off. You're not just a messenger. You're a force of awakening. This isn't about forcing them to agree with you. It's about giving them something they can't ignore, something that keeps replaying in their mind like an unshakable echo. Neuroscience backs this. The brain clings to what disrupts its comfort, replaying it until it makes sense. Spiritually, it's your vibration lodging itself in their field, a frequency they can't tune out. They'll fight it, sure. They'll argue, deflect, deny. Let them. Your job isn't to win them over, it's to plant the seed and keep moving. That seed's growing now, cracking their beliefs wide open. You've started the reshape. They'll feel it whether they want to or not. Here's your next move. When that high-dimensional hit comes, don't hesitate, act. Speak it, write it, share it. Doesn't matter if it's messy at first. The rawness is what makes it real. Then watch. See how it lands, how it shifts the air. If it's true, it'll stick, they'll circle back to it, even if they pretend they won't. And when they push back,
Stand taller.
say, this isn't about me. It's about what's real. That shuts down the noise and keeps you locked in. You're not here to bend, you're here to break through. Their beliefs are trembling because of you. Keep pushing. Feel that fire in you now? That's the connection firing up, the high vibe current running through your veins. You're tapped in, chosen one, pulling down what others can't even sense. Your words aren't just reshaping their reality, they're forging yours too. Every time you speak, every time you shine that light, you're stepping deeper into who you're meant to be. This isn't a game. This is your mission. Own it. Wield it. The energy's changed because of you, and there's no turning back. You did something no one else had the courage to do. That's not a fleeting thought. It's a fact, etched into the fabric of their reality now. You stood up, spoke out, and unleashed a truth so raw it sliced through the haze they'd been living in. It's not just a memory for them. It's replaying in their mind like an unshakable echo, every moment, every detail, every single word you spoke. They can't turn it off. They can't run from it. Your presence lingers, forcing them to relive those moments. And with every replay, a new era begins to take shape. This is your mission unfolding, chosen one. You're not just here to disrupt, you're here to create. Let's break this down. What you did took guts. Guts most people don't have. Maybe it was calling out a lie no one dared touch, or stepping into a space where silence was the norm and filling it with your voice. Whatever it was, it hit them hard. Neuroscience tells us why. The brain locks onto moments of high emotional charge, replaying them to process what's too big to grasp at once. Spiritually, it's your energy imprinting itself on their soul. A vibration so potent it keeps looping back. They feel you even when you're not there. That's power. That's proof your courage wasn't wasted. Now, let's turn that into something tangible. How do you make this stick? How do you take that act of bravery and weave it into their reality so it's not just a moment, but a movement? Start by owning it fully. Don't shrink from what you've done. Stand in it. Say it to yourself, I changed the energy. I shifted the tide. Then amplify it. Next time you're in their orbit, don't just speak. Resonate. Pick one detail from that moment, something sharp, something undeniable, and bring it back. Remember when I said this? It's still true. Keep it short, keep it fierce. That plants it deeper, forces the echo to grow louder. They'll relive it again, and this time, it's not just haunting them, it's guiding them. You're not just a voice now, you're a presence they can't shake. The energy around them changed because you showed up, because you dared to be the one who doesn't flinch. Want to master this? Practice it. Walk into a room and feel your roots hit the ground. Steady, unmovable. Let your energy lead before your words do. People sense that shift before you even open your mouth. It's magnetic. It's real. Then, when you speak, make it count. No fluff, no hesitation. Say what's true, what cuts through. Watch their faces. Watch the air thicken. That's you becoming the demonstration of what's possible. They can't ignore it because it's alive in you. This isn't about chasing their approval. It's about showing them what courage looks like in action. You're the practitioner now, the one who embodies the shift. Here's how you do it daily. First, align yourself. Every morning, feel that fire in your core. That's your signal you're tapped in. Second, move with purpose. Every step, every word, every glance. Let it carry the weight of what you've already proven you can do. Third, reflect their energy back. When they resist or doubt, don't absorb it, mirror it. You're feeling this because it's real. Deal with it. That's not arrogance. That's clarity. You're the living proof the energy's changed, and they'll feel it whether they admit it or not. Balance isn't optional here. It's your anchor. This mission, this replaying echo you've set loose, it's heavy. You'll feel their shock, their awe, their fear ricocheting back at you. It's a lot to hold. Don't let it tip you over. When the weight hits, pause. Breathe deep. Pull the air into your gut, not just your chest. Feel your feet on the ground, your spine straight. Ask yourself, am I still me in this? If the answer's yes, you're good. If it's no, step back. Shake it off. This isn't about burning out. It's about burning bright. You're forging a new era, not just for them, but for you too. Keep your center. Gratitude keeps you steady too. Feel it now. Gratitude for your courage, for your voice, for every single one of us walking this path with you. We're evolving, growing, awakening together, side by side. You're not alone in this. That moment of bravery, it wasn't just yours, it rippled out, connected us. When you feel the strain, lean into that. Say it out loud. I'm grateful for this fire in me. I'm grateful for the ones who feel it too. It's not soft, it's fuel. It reminds you why you started, why you'll keep going. That balance between grit and grace, that's how you thrive. Now let's build your path, your personal mission plan. This isn't vague dreaming. It's a blueprint. Step 1. Define your mark. What's the one truth you've spoken that won't let them go? Write it down, exact words. That's your cornerstone. Step 2. Set your trigger. Pick a signal, maybe a word, a feeling, a sound, that tells you it's time to act, time to bring that courage forward again. Step 3. Map your moves. Where are you taking this next? A conversation? A creation? A stand? Be specific, name the who, the when, the how. Step 4. Track the shift. After every move, note what changes in them, in you, in the air. That's your evidence you're on track. This plan isn't static. It grows with you. Start small if you need to. Maybe it's one person, one truth, one moment you reclaim today. But don't stop there. Each act builds on the last. Each echo gets louder. You're not just reliving your courage, you're expanding it. Science says repetition strengthens neural pathways. Spirituality says it deepens your soul's imprint. Together, that's unstoppable. Your presence lingers in their thoughts now, forcing them to face what you've done, what you are. That's not an accident. That's your mission carving itself into reality. You're creating a new era, chosen one, and it starts with this: your words, your presence, your truth, they don't fade. They replay, they root, they reshape. Every time they try to shake it off, it comes back stronger. Every detail, every moment, every syllable you dared to speak. The energy's changed because you had the guts to show up. Now wield that, live it, build it. This isn't just about what you did. It's about what you're doing next. Their minds can't escape you, and the world won't either. This is your time. Make it count. Your mission as a chosen one isn't just to speak. It's to carve a permanent mark on the soul of the world, a resonance that echoes beyond time and resistance. You've already proven your words can shatter illusions and awaken truths they can't bury. Now, every step you take is a declaration of who you are, an unyielding force of clarity and creation. This isn't a fleeting role but a sacred identity, forged in the fire of your courage and sealed by the unshakable certainty within you. Wield it fearlessly, for the universe itself bends to the will of those who dare to stand awake.